Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Even Lease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me, the Aegis Redeemer. Let's go ahead and take a look at this ship. Alright, welcome back to another review. Today, the Redeemer. This ship has seen a lot of changes since I last looked at it only a few short months ago. Now, before we get into those stats, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you get notified about giveaways, reviews, as well as my live streams that I'm doing now. Speaking of giveaways, look down below and enter the current active one. I want to make sure you get entered so you have a chance to win a free ship. Otherwise, thank you. You guys are all amazing. And let's go ahead and get into this review. The Redeemer, when it's available on the Pledge Store, it is $330. Now, you can also buy it in-game for $17,199,000 aUEC, which is a very heavy price tag for a pretty not-so-big ship. But it does have quite the extensive weapons package on it, as well as a pretty decent interior. So let's go ahead and talk about those weapons. The pilot, when that front remote turret is not sat in and no control by anybody, gives a total of 1,376 damage per second because they have control over two size 4 C7A8 cannons, one under each wing, as well as two size 3 M5A laser cannons, which is pretty nice. That's a pretty good amount of DPS for the pilot. And then you have more guns. You have two man turrets, as well as another remote turret at the very back of the ship, giving you a total of 5,898 DPS because of the two size 4 AD4B ballistic Gatling guns on each man turret, and then the size 3 M5A laser cannons at the very back of the ship. Now, speaking of those man turrets, those guns used to be size 5 85Bs, so they were dropped down a level and they're no longer as big, don't put out as much damage, but this ship still overall puts out a phenomenal amount of damage per second if it's completely manned. Now, past that, you do have 16 size 2 Strike Force 2 missiles, giving you just a little bit more firepower for that pilot, which is pretty nice. They're not the biggest missiles, but they're going to do the job because you do have quite a few of them. Now, looking at the shields here, it did take a pretty dramatic hit. It has 6 size 2 shield generators, giving you a total of 28,440 front-back shields, which used to be 200,000 quadrant shield. This ship and the shield department got completely destroyed. Now you only have 28,000 of shield generation. That's pretty bad, and it doesn't stop there. This ship now has 66,700 ship HP. Prior, it had 102,300 ship HP. That is another pretty big hit to a gunship that prior could take a massive beating while also putting out the pain. Now it's more or less a glass cannon. You have to be very careful about what fights you get into because it's a pretty big ship and its maneuverability still isn't that great. Now, if we're going to talk about maneuverability and speed, it did get quite the upgrade there. Not like massively dramatic, but enough to make a difference. A top speed of 203 SCM with a 400 forward boost and a 215 backwards boost. Prior, this ship was only 160 SCM as a top speed. So, like I said, it's a pretty big boost. It's not like end of the world dramatic, but it's pretty nice. So I appreciate that. Now, looking at the nav speed, it is 1,050. Prior, it used to be 960 nav. So again, a little bit of an increase. You got to help it where you can. Because you took away so much shield, you took away so much ship HP, and you downsized 2 of the man turrets. This is just killer. Outside of that, last time I didn't mention the pitch yaw roll, but this time I'm going to. You have a total of 32, 32, 115 pitch yaw roll. So it is a little bit more maneuver than it used to be. Prior, it felt very floaty, very like a very whale-like ship. Now you can actually move and stay on target most of the time as long as you're not fighting something like an Arrow, a Gladius, or something with extreme maneuverability. It's a lot easier to stay on target, so I appreciate that. Now, outside of that, this ship does have 66 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 2.4 SCU of quantum fuel. So a pretty decent amount for both. This gunship, I'm just, I'm very surprised. It got hit really hard, and it feels like the changes are not done. There's a good chance that you could see this ship back for another review in a month or two if they keep changing it the way that they are. But then again, right now, all ships are going through a balance pass of sorts. Soon, we're going to see many ships that we love changing, and it's going to be pretty hard to handle. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Redeemer's interior and see what that looks like. Now, once you make your way up the ramp here to enter your ship, you can go ahead and press that button to close the door and then take a look at where your crew loves to live while they're out flying in the verse. Now, starting off with the left side, you do have 2 SCU of cargo space, which is really nice. It's good to always have a little bit of cargo ability, and this one allows you to carry 2 SCU. Right next to that, you have a wardrobe spot to go ahead and put some armor or, shirts, clothes, whatever, when that becomes more, usable. Right below that, you do have storage access. If you were to press that, you'll access the internal storage. And then you have 2 beds as well as 2 more wardrobes as well as more storage access. Right next to that, you do have the kitchen area where it comes with a fully stocked fridge, and you can definitely access that and eat and drink the stuff that is stocked in here. Currently, while on the flight, I meant to shut that. Instead, I grabbed a snack. Currently on the flight, I went ahead and seems to have thrown a lot of it right on out of my fridge. Over here, you got 2 more beds as well as another wardrobe and storage area. And also, of course, you have to have the bathroom, which looks really good for an Aegis ship with a nice little toilet access area. I'm not getting near that, and going to close this door. So pretty nice. It has a bathroom and a great living area for the crew. Now, past that, you can go ahead and climb up this ladder here and get immediately greeted by a beautiful looking weapons rack, giving you the ability to store 4 weapons here. To the left, you have 4 jump seats for your crew, or if your crew's already occupying their battle stations, you could potentially carry like a spec op team here and drop them into a nice heavy combat zone. Now that your shields and health pool is much, much smaller, you got to be a little bit more careful with that. If you access this door here, you'll see there's going to be a lot of component access through here. It is all mostly here. There's some stuff still missing, but you do have your components and gold standard pass, so that's really nice. Right up top is your manned turret, so you can go ahead and access that. And then I'm sure there's going to be some engineer stations around here. You just don't see those screens populating yet. We're going to go back through this door and take a look at more areas of the ship. Continuing on, you're going to have more component access to the left and to the right. Moving forward, you're going to have probably more engineering stations. It's pretty interesting how many this ship does have, as well as another access to the lower manned turret, which you go ahead and access by pressing on this very bright orange screen. Now you do have access to your 2 remote turrets, one on the left, one on the right. Remember, try not to occupy the seat that the pilot has control over that remote turret at the front. Allow them to retain that control and take care of the remote turret in the back. It's probably the better way to go about it. Outside of that, you do have a fire extinguisher here. No access to anything under here. Sometimes these Aegis ships do have that. And then a nice little panel for some maybe server blades. And here is the cockpit for your pilot, which looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and get into the pilot seat here and take a look at my review score after all these changes. It's not as good as it used to be. Overall, this ship did take quite the beating, so my score is going to reflect that a little bit here. It is still quite a powerful ship, especially if you man all the guns, but with that, my score is a 7 out of 10. You're going to get hit with shields, health pool, as well as its profession, because as a gunship, you'd expect this ship to be able to take quite the beating before having to retreat or fall to enemy fire. Now, not so much. So with that, again, a 7 out of 10. Let me know, what do you think of this ship down in the comments below? Do you still have it? Do you want one? What do you truly think of the Redeemer? And what ship past everything coming out this year, what ship are you most excited for next year? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys for being amazing. You all are truly the best. Thank you to the channel members. I hope you guys are enjoying the new channel member icons, customly hand-drawn. So thank you. You guys are awesome. And I will see you guys in the next one.